pandemic. You know what I mean? Like it definitely coincided in that way, which really broke a lot of people's brains for some reason. Like I always understood why, you know, people were pushing for the vaccination campaigns, the mass inoculation campaigns. It was obviously the goal for capital owners were to get back to work, make sure everybody gets back to work. But for some weird reason, these guys didn't understand that that was the point, or rather looked at that and thought, yeah, I'm not doing that like a child. I'm not doing that no matter what you tell me. But now that mass inoculation campaigns have occurred and people have gotten COVID and survived, a lot of people have long COVID and are still facing the consequences of that sort of thing. At this stage, unless there is like a incredibly damaging second wave that is like, you know, this new strain that is just wiping out people, okay, there will probably not be another lockdown, because at this point, like, we tried it, we did it, we failed. People complained a lot about it. It actually hurt the bottom line of corporations, especially in the beginning. There's no way they're going back to that. But yeah, for those of you saying like this is not the new meta, I will not comply. Will you? No masks, no shots, no bugs, no groomers near our children, no mandates, no funding proxy war with billions of our tax dollars. That's just for starters, says Aaron Elizabeth Health Nut News. Happening now in Los Angeles, California. Parents have taken to the streets and are now headed to the LAUSD headquarters. Parents say they are done with Newsom and LA city officials undermining parental rights. This shit is like so insanely AstroTurf, dude. It's awesome. This is like every issue. Listen to the detransitioners. Parents are the trusted adults. Leave our kids alone. No more lockdowns. Like, it's a smorgasbord of like different kinds of conservative mental illness and display. And the major reason why this is happening is because the main goal has always been school choice, eviscerating public schools, making it so that, there is no public schooling in this country, and destroying teachers' unions and the like. It's good, though, because this is a battle that they have fought before, so they're comfortable fighting it. That's why they're doing it again. Anyway, let's take a look. She saw one video of someone complaining about getting COVID and got incredibly triggered.
I just watched a video from one of the people I follow, okay? And they're with their little C test. Okay, because they're not feeling good. They got the sniffles and they're weak, and they're just not feeling good. So we got the little test, and they're telling people, oh my God, I wish I would have gotten the 15 more times. And if I would have done that, I wouldn't be feeling like shit. Guess what? I don't know what it's going to take for these people to understand we are done with this shit. We are done with this shit like
she's had it.
Steak, okay? We are not doing this with you people. We are not doing this. We will not lock down. We will not give up our rights. We will not close our
Star Medic. I love her being an EMT.
Businesses, and we are not doing this shit with you people. No matter how many people that you pay money to, okay, to propagate this shit again. It's not happening. We are not going to go, we're not going to do that. Oh my God, take a burger. If you get a burger and some fries, maybe, if you do this, we'll give you some burgers and fries and a donut and some booze. And no, we're not doing it. We're not doing this again. Stop it. It's over.
She's popping off, dude. Queen. I don't know where this is happening, but like in a weird way, it almost feels like they kind of want to bring this back. You know what I mean? Because I don't know where the fuck is happening. Like, I live in the heart of California. Okay, we're talking California Oblast. Obviously, our very own gruesome Governor Gavin Newsom runs this place with an iron fist. You know what I mean? And I haven't seen this shit. I don't even think there's momentum towards this shit. You know what I mean? The people that, don't get mad at me, but I do think that the people that still are pushing lockdowns and masking on the liberal side are hyper health conscious people, oftentimes people with disabilities that are obviously less protected. I don't really, other than that, I don't think anybody out here is like genuinely going, let's do this lockdown thing again, which, by the way, it didn't really even happen. So even when I recorded my cat doing something funny, I turned off the TV. Crazy they don't do that for these. They They can't stop the steady flow of disinformation coming from the TV. They might miss out on a moment of Fox and 5. You know what I mean? In New York State, some areas, COVID is coming back very small. Local hospitals are requiring masks, and that's what it got started. I mean, that makes sense. If you're in a fucking hospital, especially when there's a COVID spike, yeah, I get why people would push that. It's a fucking hospital, dog. What do you mean? That's pretty much the only place where I still currently wear a mask. Anyway, let's see this.
I'm just going to say this. I heard this morning on another podcast that this variant obviously is already sweeping the UK. They're considering having all their citizens in the UK mask up again. Guys, I am begging you. If you stood down in 2020, please stand up in 2023 when this hits our shores. Because if you think you lost freedom last time, it ain't going to be nothing compared to what they're going to do this time. And if we overwhelm these idiots and let them know that we will not do this, and those of us that stood last time don't have to stand alone, then we can beat this. We can actually beat them at their game this time. So please don't be a coward this time. Don't mask your kids up. Don't go and not go to the grocery store without your mask on. Don't send your kids to school with masks on. Don't stop hugging each other. Don't stop going to church. And if your pastor shuts his doors, find a new church. If your pastor finds a way.
Dude, she's like fantasizing about lockdowns. Like, there's no difference that, I'm sorry, controversial take. Lockdowns were kind of cool for a lot of like agoraphobic people. They kind of loved it. And I think there is like a very real part of some NEETs that want to go back to that because the rest of the world lived in the exact same way that they were living. And I think these people are doing the exact same thing on the other side. They love the constant battle. Like, this oppressive authoritarian government was somehow coming after them. And it's also very low stakes because it wasn't real, right? So they love the engagement that they got out of it. They love the social cohesion that they got out of it. In a very weird way, this is the inverse of what NEETs fantasize about with the lockdowns of like, oh, it was kind of cozy, you know? There is a sense of unity and bond that they got from fighting this like monstrous oppressive government that was pushing for this incredibly authoritarian mandate, right? And they loved it, so they're trying to desperately bring that vibe back. You know what I mean? I feel like that is what they're doing. They just want to go back to that battle that they fought. And it's especially important because it's not a real battle, right? Like, obviously, if there were real stakes, notice how they're not doing it for January 6th. Notice how they're not doing it for, Trump's court proceedings. That's because that did become a real battle with real stakes. People got fucking arrested. People went to jail. Thousands of people got legal scrutiny due to their actions that were, of course, illegal. But this one is low stakes. Cops, maybe you fucking bully them, pester them a little bit, and then cops ultimately just like let you go. Low stakes battles that they're fighting that they greatly overemphasize is the worst thing that's ever happening to them is a very fun little engagement that they can, they're LARPing. They're bored, upper middle class suburbanites LARPing as though they are fighting against an oppressive authoritarian regime. And the reason why they're doing this role play rather than doing the other thing of acting out an insurrection or getting together and like legitimately trying to do a Charlottesville or acting out an insurrection at like the courthouse where they're detaining Donald Trump or whatever. The reason why they're not doing that is because they know when they do that, there is actual consequences. When they do this, there is none. It's the same principle behind like, I'm doing my part. I'm doing slacktivism by going and watching a movie in the movie theater and the AC is actually off because there's some massive conspiracy that is stopping me from watching a fucking movie. Ultimately, you're not doing activism. You're watching a movie, dumbass. But it feels good. There's a shared purpose. We're all fighting against, child sex traffickers by watching a movie. Wow, that's great. Sounds great. Conservatives love slacktivism. They love low-stake slacktivism.
To agree with the narrative, find a new church this time. Guys, we are living in the end, and they are trying so hard to tear down our country from within. And they're doing it, and they're going to continue doing it. And the only way for us to push it back is to stand up. There are far more of us than there are.
Not just conservatives, I'm lazy as fuck. I mean, there was, the other side of this was real activism that happened in the streets during the Black Lives Matter protest that sparked up during 2020. And when there is real activism, what happens? One, you don't get anything from the government. The government does not cave to any of your demands, no matter how reasonable they are. And 2, you go to fucking jail. So the other side of this is also real activism against a brutal authoritarian police state and its unjustifiable, inhumane, cruel practices and its disproportionate targeting of black people, for example, in black neighborhoods. And a lot of people participated in that and nothing came of it. So now they're completely checked out. They're completely fucking checked out of that because they saw the way that Democrats also failed to make any concessions with the protesters and instead made